They say the worst part about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. It's a cliche, I know, but you never truly understand the weight of that sentence until you're sitting in your own living room at 2 a.m., staring at a screen that just dismantled your entire reality. My name is Mark. I was married to Sarah for 8 years. We were together for a total of 11. We met in college. She was studying marketing. I was an engineering major. We were that couple. You know the ones. The couple that friends looked at and said, if they ever break up, I'm giving up on love. We built a beautiful life together. A nice house in the suburbs, a golden retriever named Max, 2 solid careers. We were trying for a baby. At least, I thought we were. I trusted her implicitly. I never checked her phone. I never questioned her girls' nights out. Why would I? We had a foundation built on a decade of mutual respect. But looking back, I realized that absolute trust is a blindfold, and she wore my trust like a badge of immunity.
The changes didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like in the movies where she suddenly came home smelling of cheap cologne with a lipstick stain on her collar. It was insidious, micro shifts in her routine. It started in her 7th year at her firm. She got promoted to a senior account executive. I was thrilled for her. We popped champagne. But with the promotion came a new boss, a guy named David. David was recently divorced, charismatic, and heavily reliant on Sarah for late-night strategy alignments. First, it was the phone. For 8 years, her phone was just a piece of plastic on the counter. Suddenly, it was an extension of her body. She took it to the bathroom. She slept with it under her pillow. If it was on the table, it was always face down. Then came the sudden dedication to fitness. Sarah was always healthy, but overnight she bought a whole new wardrobe of expensive gym clothes. She started going to a high-intensity interval training class at 6 a.m. 3 times a week. When I asked her about the sudden changes, she gaslit me flawlessly. "I'm just trying to take better care of myself, Mark. Why are you being so controlling? I'm stressed with a new role." I backed off. I felt guilty for even questioning her. That's the thing about manipulators. They make you apologize for their sins. The universe has a funny way of bringing the truth to light. It was a Tuesday evening. Sarah was in the shower. I was trying to order a pizza on the iPad, but the battery was dead. My phone was charging upstairs, so I grabbed hers off the nightstand. She had left it unlocked because she was listening to a podcast on a Bluetooth speaker. I swiped out of Spotify to open Safari. As I did, a banner notification dropped down from the top of the screen. It wasn't an iMessage. It was from an app called Telegram. I didn't even know she had Telegram. The notification was from a contact saved as D Office. The message read, "Can't stop thinking about what you did in my car today. I need you again." Have you ever felt the blood literally drain from your head? It's a physical sensation. My ears started ringing. My stomach plummeted. The room started spinning. I couldn't breathe. My hand was shaking so violently I almost dropped the phone. I clicked the notification. It asked for a passcode, a secondary passcode just for the app. She had built a fortress for her affair. I sat on the edge of the bed, listening to the water running in the shower. The woman I loved, the woman I was trying to start a family with, was washing off another man in our bathroom. I had a choice in that moment. Burst into the bathroom, scream, cry, and demand answers. But a cold, terrifyingly calm voice in my head whispered, "No, if you confront her now, she will delete everything. She will deny it. You need proof. You need a plan. I closed the app, opened Safari, left it on the local pizza website, and put the phone exactly where I found it. I walked downstairs, went out to the back porch, and threw up in the bushes. The next morning, I kissed her goodbye and told her to have a great day at work. It was the hardest performance of my life. I took the day off. I didn't cry. The sadness was gone, completely replaced by a glacial, focused rage. I realized that my marriage was a crime scene, and I needed to become a forensic investigator. First stop, a spy shop downtown. I paid cash for 2 voice-activated recorders, VARs. Small, black, indistinguishable little rectangles. I hid one under the passenger seat of her car, velcroed to the metal frame. I hid the second one in her home office, taped behind a bookshelf. Second stop, the most ruthless, aggressive divorce attorney in our city. A woman named Claire who looked at my situation with the cold calculus of a shark. We lived in an at-fault state, meaning infidelity could significantly impact alimony and asset division. Don't let her know you know, Claire told me. Act like the perfect husband. Let her get sloppy. Gather the evidence. Protect your money. And so the masquerade began. For 6 weeks, I lived a double life. By day, I was the loving, supportive husband. I cooked her dinners. I asked about her day. I rubbed her shoulders when she complained about stress at the office. By night, when she was asleep, I was retrieving the VARs and listening to the audio on my laptop with headphones. Listening to those tapes was psychological torture. I heard her complaining to David about me. I heard her calling me boring and predictable. I heard them planning their weekends away under the guise of corporate retreats. And I heard things, physical things, happening in the very car I bought her for her 30th birthday. I backed up every audio file to 3 separate cloud drives. I hired a private investigator to follow them during their lunch breaks. I had time-stamped photos of them entering a cheap motel across town. I had financial records showing she was using our joint credit card to buy him expensive gifts, masking them as client lunches by using a generic Square Reader receipt. The dossier was complete. The trap was set. Now I just needed the right stage for the execution.
Sarah's 32nd birthday was approaching. She told me she wanted a quiet dinner, just the 2 of us, at an upscale Italian restaurant downtown. I knew from the audio logs that she had spent the entire afternoon at the motel with David, celebrating early. She came home, showered, put on a beautiful dress, and smiled at me. "Ready for my birthday dinner, babe?" she asked. "More than you know," I replied. What Sarah didn't know was that I had been busy. I knew David was married. His wife, Emily, was a stay-at-home mom with their 2 young kids. Through my PI, I had anonymously sent Emily a burner phone 2 days prior, with a note that said, "Keep this charged and on you. You'll know when to look at it." I also knew that Sarah's parents, her sister, and our close mutual friends were under the impression that we were the perfect couple. We arrived at the restaurant. I had reserved a private dining alcove. The waiter poured us a $200 bottle of Barolo. We ordered our appetizers. She reached across the table and held my hand. "I love you, Mark," she said, looking right into my eyes. "This is perfect." I looked back at her. I didn't feel anger anymore. I just felt an overwhelming sense of pity for the stranger sitting across from me. "I have your gift," I said.
I reached into my blazer and pulled out a thick manila envelope.
I slid it across the white tablecloth. "Happy birthday, Sarah." She smiled, eyes lighting up. "Is this tickets to Europe? You said we were going to go to Italy." She tore open the envelope. The first thing she pulled out was an 8x10 glossy photograph of her and David, making out against the door of room 114 at the Starlight Motel. Her smile froze. The color instantly vanished from her face. She looked like she had just been injected with concrete. Next, she pulled out a 30-page transcript of their telegram messages. Finally, the divorce papers, already signed by me, outlining that I was keeping the house, my retirement, and that I was suing her for the dissipation of marital assets for the money she spent on her affair. "Mark, what is this?" she stammered, her voice trembling. "This is a misunderstanding. I can explain." "There is nothing to explain," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, but cutting through the room like glass. "While you were opening that envelope, I pressed send on an email." She stared at me in sheer terror. "Right now," I continued, checking my watch, "a Google Drive folder containing all the photos, the audio recordings of you two in your car, and your financial fraud has just been delivered to your parents, your sister, and your entire HR department. Oh, and David's wife, Emily, she just received a text message on a burner phone with the exact same link." Sarah let out a sound that I can only describe as a dying animal. It was a guttural gasp of pure panic. "No, no, no, Mark, please, you can't do this. You'll ruin my life." I stood up from the table, buttoned my blazer, and tossed a $50 bill onto the table for the wine. "You ruined our lives, Sarah. I'm just taking out the trash." I turned and walked out of the restaurant. I didn't look back. I got into my car, blocked her number, and drove away. For the first time in 6 weeks, I took a deep breath. The air tasted like freedom.
The fallout was biblical. By the time Sarah got to her office the next morning, David's wife had already called the CEO. Since David was her direct superior, their relationship was a massive violation of company policy, bordering on a liability for a sexual harassment lawsuit. They were both fired by noon. Her family was disgusted. Her sister called me crying, apologizing for Sarah's actions. Sarah had to move back into her parents' basement at 32 years old, unemployed and facing a brutal divorce settlement where my lawyer absolutely decimated her. Because of the overwhelming evidence of her spending marital funds on the affair, the judge awarded me the house and heavily skewed the asset division in my favor. David's life imploded even worse. Emily divorced him, took primary custody of their kids, and he had to move to a different state to find work in his industry after the scandal ruined his reputation locally. It's been 3 years since that night. I sold the house in the suburbs. It had too many ghosts. I bought a place closer to the city. Max, the golden retriever, is doing great, by the way. He gets a lot more walks now. I've started dating again, slowly. I've learned to trust again, but I've also learned to trust my gut above all else. Some people told me my revenge was too harsh, that I should have just walked away quietly. But when someone burns your house down, you don't just sweep up the ashes in silence. You make damn sure everyone sees who holds the matches. If there's anyone listening to this who has that feeling, that nagging voice telling you something is wrong, listen to it. Don't let them gaslight you. Be smart. Be patient. Gather your evidence. And when the time comes, strike with absolute precision. Thanks for listening.